Hey everybody, it's Scott again for Johnny'sBeat.com, and I am at Resistance Pro Wrestling in Chicago, and I am with the current #1 contender, Lonesome J. Bradley.
I think technically I'm a two-time.
Two-time, yes, this is true. Beat the Ego Robert Anthony tonight. First question I want to ask you, obviously growing up as a kid, watching wrestling like everybody else.
Actually, let me stop you there. Used to not be able to watch wrestling, which is of course why I probably liked it even more. My mom used to actually despise pro wrestling, so when I was really, young age, like Hulkamania boom, Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man, all that stuff, like my mom was like, did not let me watch wrestling, so I'd have to like sneak up while she was sleeping on Saturday morning to watch like the Saturday morning stuff, or like watch it at friend's house, at grandma's house. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the decadence made it more exciting.
Yeah, exactly. So what do I wind up doing?
You were getting away with something.
So what do I wind up doing for a living? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, when was that turning point when you're, and you just like, man, I want to do that?
I really don't remember. I remember an exact moment. I was always like, I played like every sport I could think about growing up. You know what I mean? I was always like the more physical sports, more aggressive sports, and then I was always really big imagination. You know what I mean? And I was always into like not total sci-fi stuff, but I always loved like the comic books, and then Star Wars and all this stuff like that with the big heroes, and big muscles, stuff like that, and the villains, and pro wrestling was that come to life for me.
So when did it become a reality?
You know what? I think I want to probably say like my early teens. I got a hold. This is right around the time like ECW was starting to get buzz, and it was just like, what's this? This isn't like WWE 1980 stuff. This is different.
Stuff's almost forbidden.
Yeah, and then that kind of got me to start looking into international stuff, which blew my mind. Was like, whoa, there's pro wrestling in Japan, Mexico. I was exposed, and then I was like, wow, there's all this other stuff out there. So as I dug deeper, because I was a straight WWF kid. Like, I didn't really watch NWA or any of that stuff. To me, it was, they didn't have Hulk Hogan and
they didn't have the superheroes.
Yeah, so I thought it was So, and as I got into the business, I really appreciated a lot more. But I want to say when I just started, I didn't know who they were. Just the Japanese style of wrestling, where just the guys looked like they could be big, just strong, powerful guys. Like from a big family. They looked like the Stan Hansons and Doc and Gordy's, like they could be my uncles or something. You know what I mean? And they're like kicking people's ass. And I'm just like, whoa, what is this?
The big guys who went over to Japan, like you mentioned, like a Stan Hansen. I mean, you've got that great lariat finishing move. Is that based off the Hansons?
Yeah, in a way. Like, all those guys influenced me. Like, those were my guys. Wrestling Vader a month ago was just like, like a buzz moment for me in my career. You know what I mean? Because he was one of those guys. Like, you know what I mean? And that whole group of Americans that came through in the '90s in Japan were just, that's who I always just watched. You know what I mean? And how the clothesline came into play as a finish is like I just throwing just a great looking clothesline, and at the time we were taught like your best looking move should be your finish.
Right.
Shawn Michaels had that sweet chin music. His kick looked awesome. What's better than he does that kick? Maybe the elbow.
And it's a move you can pull out of any.
Yeah, and so that's why I stuck with it, which made me start watching those guys even more, because it's like, all right, these are guys that are using this as finishers like this, and so maybe. Not totally, I don't want to say like totally pattern myself after them, but you get more influence. Just guard, this is how he built into his finisher, or how he utilized it in these situations. So yeah.
Now, if you could take anybody, you're talking about all these great Japan wrestlers, give me a name. Give me one name. You worked with Vader already. Give me a name. Who would you love to climb in the ring with?
Probably Gordy. Unfortunately, that's never going to happen. Right. He's left. Passed the world on about
one of the best big men workers.
And just I got to train with his son. Ray, and I hung out with Ray a bunch, and I would just I just watched him. I got to work out with Doc too a lot when I was in WWE. They had Doc around as an agent, as a coach. I got to work with Vader a little bit. Like Gordy was just. You look at this guy, and he's just a big mountain of a man from Tennessee redneck, pretty much. You know what I mean? And just everything he did, like way he moved, like as like early days, maybe 250, and then it was scaled up to like 300 pounds. But like
he
the way
can move,
he moved, the way he used the size and everything like that, it was I would just. I wish I was like 20 years earlier so I could just get around.
Well, I want to encourage the fans that if you get a chance to see Jay Bradley wrestle, I want you to do so because he moves great for a big man too. He's absolutely one of our very favorites, Johngy Speed. And let's go ahead and let's tell the fans, old and new, where can they follow you online?
If you want to get a hold of me, I'm on the Twitterverse or whatever the buzzword for it is. It's just Jay Bradley, JayBradley BW with a little at in front of it or the ampersand or whatever the hell it's called. And then I'm on Facebook, facebook.com/Jay Bradley BW.
Very good. Hey, Jay, thank you so much. Good luck.
Thank you.